Hello everyone, welcome to the whiteboard series. In this episode, we are going to talk about what is consciousness actually. That is, I have talked about consciousness in the previous videos also. That was without using the whiteboard. But in this video, we will see what is consciousness in its raw form. We will see how the creation was created entirely. So now, consciousness, let's say it's like AI, like artificial intelligence. If you see in Iron Man, in the Jarvis, like Tony Stark creates AI called as Jarvis. So it is like a floating space, like a floating element. It is all sparkly consciousness with full pure intelligence. It can think about anything. It can create anything. It has all its power to create multiple universes. So that is the power of consciousness. So basically it's a thinking powerhouse which can create millions of thoughts, which can create millions of universes, elements, solids, liquid, gases, galaxies, planets, everything it can create, but only through its dream texture. That is, it never creates anything real. Whatever it creates is belonging to the dream texture. So the fabric of whatever it creates is called as dream texture. So the consciousness in its sparkly raw form doesn't have anything in it. It's pure magic. Sparkly. So now that consciousness in its raw form splits into two. One is the masculine and another is the feminine. So the masculine retains its raw form. So it is still raw in nature, whereas the feminine creates. So the masculine, which is raw in nature, just watches what the feminine creates. So this is spectacles to point that it just watches. And the feminine creates. It's a hammer and spanner. So the masculine watches and the feminine creates. So what does the feminine create? The feminine creates universes. It creates causal beings, the dreamers. It creates astral beings. It creates physical beings, physical planets, astral planets, causal planets in different time dilation. That is, the causal planets will be heavier in gravitation. It'll be having more value in time. That is, one day of the causal realm is equal to millions of years in the physical realm. So the time dilation will be higher when it comes to the causal realm, because the value of time depends on how heavy the planet is. The causal planets will be way more heavier, bending space-time, than the physical planets. So that's why time dilation happens more there. That is the bending of space-time. Now, the masculine consciousness, it just watches what the feminine creates. The reason for the splitting is because the consciousness does not want to lose its original form. That is, if it loses original form, if it completely goes into the feminine, then what if it gets stuck in its own creation? So that is the most scariest part of Maya. That is, the Maya created by the own consciousness becomes too complicated sometimes, and there may be a chance that the consciousness itself gets lost in its own creation. Let's say Da Vinci, when he is painting Monalisa. So what if he gets lost in the Monalisa? That is, he is not able to come out of the painting. So that's why that splitting happens. So the splitting happens for a very good reason. It happens because of the intelligence. That is, the consciousness does not want to lose its original intelligence. That's why it becomes the masculine. Whereas the feminine is very creative in nature, and that's why it's called as Tripura Sundari. Shodashi is a 16-year-old girl. Like how all 16-year-old girls tend to create things. That's why she's represented in that form. We, all of us, have that 16-year-old girl inside us, and she's only busy in creating. So this is her creation. That is the Muladhara chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, Manipura chakra, Anahata chakra, Vishuddha chakra, Agna chakra, Sahasrara chakra. So while creating things, she ensures that she's also happy. So that's why she creates the desire for food and sleep, desire for sex, desire for power, money, fame, desire for love, speech, intellect, and existence itself. So without these desires, there is no importance of the feminine creation. So for the consciousness to stay inside the creation for a brief moment, she makes it very interesting with all these desires. So the non-living things like the duster, table will just have the Muladhara chakra. That is, it will be in the sleep mode. And the living beings, the biotic creatures like amoeba, insects, mammals, they'll have the additional chakras. That is Swadhisthana, desire for sex, Manipura, desire for power, Anahata, desire for love. Even animals like cow, dogs have the Anahata. But Vishuddha is little weak in them. Whereas when it comes to humans, the Vishuddha becomes stronger. So, but in humans, the Agna and Sahasrara is weak. But when it comes to astral and causal beings, the Agna chakra becomes stronger. And finally, in the causal being, the Sahasrara will be stronger. So a Vishnu in the causal realm will have his Sahasrara in a very strong manner. And that's why he's able to create with Ekagrata. So whenever the Kundalini goes beyond Agna chakra, it has pure concentration. That is, now currently when you are a human, the Kundalini is only supplying energy to the brain. So the Kundalini is like a tree. So there is a tree which the feminine consciousness plants. That is, once it grows, it becomes so huge. So the consciousness need not enter the tree. That is, it can stay away from the tree also. But if you enter the tree, you have to play the Maya. So whenever you enter this tree through the Sahasrara, you have to play the Maya of a causal being. You have to play the Maya of astral being, then physical beings, then animals, insects, then non-living things. So this tree called Kundalini is very magical tree, and it is so attractive, seductive, tempting to go in. But once you enter, you have to fulfill the duties of the Maya, because there is a lot of karmic exchange. Whenever you enter this tree, that is the raw consciousness, that is the Shiva, when it enters this tree, it should fulfill the duties called karma. Also, it should fulfill it in such a way that it is righteous, that is called dharma. So dharma and karma comes into picture whenever you enter this Maya. So now the consciousness has entered this duster also. So that sparkling raw form of consciousness has entered this duster, and it has only one chakra, Muladhara, and it is in sleep. But when it comes to me, the feminine has created this human body in such a way that it has all the 7 chakras, and it has to fulfill the duties of all the 7 chakras. So that's how the feminine and masculine consciousness works. So now how to go back to the true state of our consciousness, that is, which is beyond the feminine and the masculine. To go back to the original form, you need not destroy what the feminine has created, because the feminine, when it creates, it also creates the time element. So whenever the feminine consciousness creates something, it also creates time. So time starts ticking from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because whatever the feminine creates, it also dissolves. It has an expiry period. Now this causal planet, causal beings, astral planets, physical planets, everything has an expiry date. So whatever the feminine creates has an expiry date. So it dissolves on its own. So we need not worry about it. That is, we need not worry about Aditya. We need not worry about Ramesh, Suresh, Rupesh, whoever it is, because everything has an expiry date. But the only thing that you should worry about is whether you want to stay inside the painting or not. That is, if you want to stay inside the painting, then there is no harm. You can be however long you want inside your own creation, inside the creation of your feminine side. Your feminine side has created this universe, and you have gone inside your own creation. So You can stay however long you want. Da Vinci can stay inside Mona Lisa how much ever time he wants. Nobody is questioning. But sometimes when it gets complicated, that is, when the Maya starts ruling over your own mental health, that time the question arises. Should you stay inside the Maya that you created? So that's why knowing your true essence is very important. Doing sadhana is very important. When you do sadhana of the deities, deities are basically the causal beings. You get their wisdom because they live in the transitionary state or point of existence. That is, they are not too much inside Maya, nor they are too much outside Maya. That is, they are in the middle to help. That is, the Vishnus, Ganapatis, Subramanya, Hanuman, everyone are on the edge of Maya. They are on the edge because they want to help. And we are deep inside Maya. So see how the consciousness has gone deep. It has gone deep by bending the space-time like this to enter the physical realm. But the deities are on the causal, the outermost plane. So if you see in the picture of Mona Lisa, let's say the deities may be in the brushes of Da Vinci. If Da Vinci is Sadashiva, then the deities are in the brushes, the paint. And Mona Lisa itself is the physical planets and the physical realm. So the consciousness which is inside Mona Lisa is taking the help of the paintbrush or the paint to come out of the painting. So that is what is going on. We are trying to come out of this painting called physical planets, which our feminine side created. And for that, you have to be more aware. You have to do more sadhana of the deities, the helpers, who also help in creating Maya and who also help in destroying Maya. Because the paintbrush was used to create Maya also. At the same time, the paintbrush can also be used to erase Maya. That is, if you dip the paintbrush with water and again try to sprinkle it on the painting fades away. So it can be used to dissolve Maya also. So that is why we have to be aware of our feminine and masculine side. Never suppress the feminine side. That is, never judge it, never try to destroy it, never try to disturb it. Just let it be. But at the same time, know your true state. That is the watcher, the one who is watching the Maya. So if you go beyond the watching stage, then you can reach your true essence. That is the thoughtless state. Now, currently, you are watching this character. Now, I am playing the role of Aditya. So, all the characters in the Maya are feminine in nature. That is Ganapati, Aditya, Suresh, Ramesh, Vishnu, Bhairava. Everyone are the characters, are the Mona Lisa in the painting. And the one who is watching is the masculine part of your consciousness. He is just watching. He is not doing anything. And to reach that stage, you have to be aware. First, just watch your thoughts, watch your emotions, watch everything. Don't react. Then finally, when you complete the watching stage, then go towards the thoughtless state. So that is the step. First watching, then thoughtless. So this way you can go back to your original state. And this is what consciousness is. It is like a thinking powerhouse which is capable of generating millions of thoughts. It's able to create many universes. Again, you have to know that all the universe, all the creation is inside your mind, inside your consciousness. It is not outside. There is nothing outside the consciousness. Outside is pure black, pure void. So whatever is going on, the causal realm, astral realm, physical realm, all comes inside this feminine creation, inside this bubble of Kundalini. So when you go beyond this Sahasrara point, then this whole Maya dissipates, whole Maya disappears. So it is all inside your brain, inside the powerhouse. Not this brain belongs to the character. This brain is visible only to your physical eyes. But the real brain is not this. The real brain is the thinking powerhouse which is not visible to the five senses. Because the five senses is just a part of the physical realm. So you can't use five senses for proving anything. So no scientist in this universe, physical realm, can prove that consciousness exists. Because consciousness is not physical in nature. It is not even astral. It is not even causal in nature. It is beyond all this. So no, even Vishnus can't prove that consciousness exists. because it's not belonging to the Maya itself. It creates Maya, however, it is not a part of the Maya. So the people inside the Mona Lisa painting, let's say there are some people inside the Mona Lisa painting, they don't know that Da Vinci exists. They just think the world is real. Even Mona Lisa doesn't know that Da Vinci exists. Similarly, all the characters can never know what Sadashiva is. It is beyond our comprehension. Our true state is beyond our comprehension. We cannot prove it. We can only feel it. So that's why to feel it, first go to the watcher state. Then after going to the watcher state, don't suppress the feminine. Rather embrace it. Thank your feminine side for showing the creation. If you don't thank Tripura Sundari or your inner girl child, if you don't thank it for creating this beautiful universe, then you can never go beyond it. You have to appreciate this creation first. Only then she will let you out of the Maya. Only when you tell the Mona Lisa looks very good, she looks very beautiful, only then you can come out of the painting. Otherwise, if you judge the painting, if you tell Mona Lisa's lips might be a little bit asymmetrical or something, then you will dwell in the Maya. The Maya gets complicated if you start judging it. That is, if you start solving something inside Maya, like how the scientists are doing. That is, if you keep on splitting atoms and seeing what is there, it gets complicated because the creation is dependent on the observer. The more you think logically, the more you think with intellect, the Maya becomes more complicated because it is dependent on the observer. But to make it simple, you have to fall in love, like how the Bhakti Marg people do, like how they fall in love with Krishna, Radha, or Kali, Shiva, whoever it is. When they fall in love, the complication gets simple. That is, the intellect fades away and it only gives rise to pure love, pure happiness, the Anandamaya Kosha, in which the Vishnus live. So that's how you have to completely dissolve Maya, through love, through appreciation, through compassion towards your inner girl child. Not through intellect, not through logic. So this way, appreciate your inner Tripura Sundari and finally go back to your true state, that is Sadashiva. So thanks for watching this video. I hope all of you have understood what is consciousness and we'll meet in the next video. Jai Mahakal.